Welcome to the Pink Lady Posse podcast, women who refuse to disappear. You are either creating your life or living one you inherited. Friction management. It matters because breakthrough is your way out of drift. See the drag? Return to say, let's go. I am Sandy Parker Martinez with Pink Lady Posse podcast, and I'm so happy to be here with my friend, Julie Yost. And boy, we're going to go down some roads, is all I can say. But she is a travel ambassador that helps people find a platform where they can travel better, save money, and all that.
Exactly.
So thank you for being here.
Thank you for asking me.
I love how you started with a corporate career. Yeah. So kind of give me the cliff notes on corporate career to now and how you found yourself here.
Yeah, so I will focus on the Cliff Notes version, because when you have been rocking and rolling as many years as I have, I will be 68 next month, Sandy.
I'll be 70 in April.
See, we are still so young, right? We are still so young. Okay, yeah, 30 years corporate America. Grew up in the traditional family. My dad worked for the same company from college all the way to retirement. My family was not a family of entrepreneurs. So I'm just going to put that as a placeholder for you to think about that later.
Okay.
I started with two companies in a 30-year space in the HR space, human resources. So recruiting, yeah, I got into payroll and benefits, but my forte was working with people. And that sounds very cliche, but working with people as people, meaning I had the most bizarre, after I got all the recruiting and all that under my belt, I had the most bizarre assignments and seemed to change jobs within a 20-year career at a bank you would all recognize. Because every 18 months or so, I'd be tapped on the shoulder to do something different, to take some of my skill sets and invent a job. I often did that. I saw a need and I brought a solution and I created a job. And doing that, not being afraid to do the things, I've never liked to do the same thing as everybody else. I mean, I've never been that girl. I'm a rule follower, Sandy, but I didn't want to do the same thing as everybody else. So if I saw a need, I had the courage to provide a solution and would step up to do it. And because of that, I was able to avoid being relocated I was in a minor city of Houston, being relocated in order to further my career. So the reason that's important is because I never have been afraid to do the things other people haven't done yet. Knowing I'm going to stumble, knowing I have the ability to make it up as I go and improve it along the way. So some of my background in process improvement and using analytics to understand people's behaviors and all.
Okay. Let's get to entrepreneur land where it sounds like you can live.
No,
that's
but
horrible.
It was a great foundation. It truly was a great foundation. So here comes 2008 almost. I'm at the end of that 20-year career. I have the opportunity to kind of re-engineer my existing high-performing, I always had wonderful people I surrounded myself with, high-performing team, and kind of engineered myself out of a job, right? I had always said, Lord, if you can provide me a financial way that I could start my own business, I promise to honor that. So through this severance package, blah, 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 and we were having a grandson who was coming, who potentially was going to have some health issues. I wanted to be available for that. And, I was just done with the corporate world. So here I go out again. Remember, I'm not from a family of entrepreneurs, but I thought, you know what? I know how to train. I know how to work with managers. I know how to influence people's behaviors to their own betterment. And I started a coaching company. I started working with an all-female real estate firm and taught them how to run their meetings and did some training for them and some personality trait training. And from that, I got a referral to their broker. Started working with his team, got a referral to his builder, started working with that. And over a course of, I don't know how many, you do the math, 2008 until, I have off and on done coaching, leadership coaching, restaurant owners in Tennessee, physicians' offices in Nebraska. It doesn't matter what the business is. If you know how to work with people and you really genuinely want to help them be their best, you can coach inside any kind of a business. So I did
Okay.
that.
So how'd you get to travel?
Oh my. Okay, so I had a design business in there for 10 years because I've never done one thing at a time.
Okay.
I mean, I always have two, most entrepreneurs do, right? You know that.
Mhm.
You're going to have multiple streams of income. I don't know whether it's just my hummingbird personality or what it is, but I always have a lot going on. Easily distracted, for sure. I just don't have a one track because I'm doing one thing and I think about this. So that is an answer to your question. I've done all kinds of sales like supplements and premium skincare and I don't know. There's probably others in there, right? Never did Tupperware or anything like that, but I mean something
But
where
you could have.
I could have. I love to work with women primarily. It's been women, although most of my coaching clients have been male. But I love to work with humans who, when you talk to them about a product or you talk to them about a service, you can actually watch their countenance change when they realize, I do look better. I do feel more confident. So it is a way for me to serve people. But through all of that, slinging products and all of that, which I was very good at. And I built some good companies and I built some really good teams and was doing that actually when you and I first met at that
Right.
women's conference years ago. I got into the place in my life where I didn't want to be dealing with product inventory. I didn't want to be dealing with shipping delays, back orders, things waiting on a cargo ship out in the middle of hoo-ha. And I really was kind of getting done with it. And then I picked up the phone and I called a friend who I'd worked with before, respected her highly, and said, this is kind of what I'm feeling about this company I'm currently with. I don't really know what I want to do. Just being open, right? And then the Lord
Right.
starts talking to you. And it was through her. She said, it's funny you brought that up. A couple days ago, I joined a new company. It's a digital travel platform. The company I'm with now, oh, and let me interrupt myself to say, she told me about it. I looked at the comp plan in less than 24 hours. I have joined this, shaking in my shoes, as I always do when I do a new thing. But your brain neurologically, nervousness and excitement gives you the same um, body functional outcome. So I was feeling all the things like, what the heck are you doing? You are reinventing yourself again. But it ticked all the boxes. This was a company that had been around for over 10 years globally, number one in Europe, just launching in North America, like 2 months before. Opening, fertile ground. And that may scare a lot of people. To me, that's like, woo, that means the opportunity is wide open. So I don't care. Some people haven't heard of it. They're going to hear about it from me. And so I joined, and what it did and what it is doing now, 7 months later, it's allowing me to introduce people to a better way to travel. I'm not a travel agent. I don't want to be dealing with people's delays. I don't want to be dealing with the travel version of the product issues. I didn't want to, but I love to share about things I love. That wasn't a well-formed sentence, but you know what I mean. If I find something I like that's going to save me money, that I think is a new way, but a better way potentially, even if others aren't doing it yet, I want to be the one to tell them about it. So it's a membership where you pay a membership every month, like your Netflix, Costco, whatever, and you're getting wholesale pricing. and you're getting customer support 24/7, but not from me, from an excellent customer support group. So it's like I have a little travel franchise, fully accredited for all the travel. Like I said, #1 in Europe, but we are rocking the travel world a little bit because people are used to a traditional travel agent. They're used to just sitting and going Expedia, booking.com, all these different places, spending hours researching just to save a few more dollars. Whereas I can put them on one platform, let them book their activities, their flights, their resort, their hotel, whatever they want at a discount rate. And they feel like, oh, look what I did. I just curated my entire trip and I've helped them save money at the same time. So but it ticks the boxes of travel and saving money and doing something new that people haven't heard about and sharing that with them. It's my way of creating a better world. I don't
Now,
know.
you said that you've been on 22 cruises.
I will have my 22nd next week. We leave.
That is crazy.
It's crazy.
So so we're going to put travel here for a minute.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you what I'm up to now because
Mhm.
it's shifted a little bit. And then I want to converge in the conversation with what we can learn from each other.
Okay, I love it.
So when women encounter drag or they encounter things being hard or they run into resistance, we tend to make it mean something about us, right?
Right.
This thing happened, there's a gap, and now I can make it mean something about me.
Right.
But if I can notice what that thing is in the middle and identify it as with a name that isn't me, then I can get off my back.
Right.
So I'll give an example. What it's called is friction. And friction is great because we couldn't walk without it. The cars roll with friction is a thing like gravity.
Right.
But when friction becomes layered in your life, then it becomes draggy. And we often say, I need to be more motivated. I need to be more productive. Actually, we need to be less friction.
Right.
But until we see it, we're just run by it. And so the little saying is not little saying. I don't want to diminish myself. I think this is super powerful. When you see the drag, you can return to say. Now, what is say? When my mother said, because I said so, she wasn't really in big confusion. She was in her say so.
Right.
Right. And when I give my power away, or when I get confused and make it mean something about me, then I am not in my say. So what I want to do, so Pink Lady Posse, the community for women, is the why. I want women to live a robust life till their very last breath.
Right.
But friction management is the how. So I'm learning about friction and where it shows up. And you're not going to believe what I found out about travel. Because you can use this.
Okay.
And the irony is, well, let me back up and just say there's 3 types of friction. Curbs, those are things outside of you. Wobbles, those are what feels like on the inside. And then grinders are things that happen over time. Okay. So it just so happens I'm flying to Chicago tomorrow to see Taylor for her birthday.
Oh, how fun.
I know. And I go, oh my gosh, what's the TSA line like? Oh my gosh, do I have a wheelchair? Because I still have problems with my knees. Oh my gosh, did I get the seat with leg room? I mean, all of that world out there is the world out there.
Right.
And then I go, I wish Steve was going with me because I can always count on him if that's internal, that's a wobble.
Right.
So I started just looking at the points of travel where if we detect the drag, we can return to our say so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because it's got to come up in your world.
Right.
And
Right.
so one of the most beautiful, mm, I'll say the summary, but there's other parts. One of the most beautiful parts of this looking at your world is traveling is my say so,
Mm-hmm.
right? While there's a million reasons to say why not travel,
Right.
travel is what I can say so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to travel.
I love it. I love it.
That is my right as myself.
Mm-hmm.
Curves out there, wobbles in here, they're just friction.
Right. Right.
I'm going to travel.
Right. Right.
But when you see them, then you can kind of, and it's just crazy. It's like you could even use travel as a friction revealer.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
You said some, oh, it's new and not everybody's heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a friction revealer because you can go, that's either going to stop me
Right.
or it's not.
Right. Right. Right.
But if I go, oh, it's new, oh, it's new,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's just friction.
Mm-hmm.
See the drag, return. You can still choose it,
Mm-hmm. Right.
right?
Right.
Or the moment before booking, right? It's like, it's not the airport. It's like, that, am I going to go there? Am I going to go there? Is that time
Right.
really good? If you can teach someone that that frame of space is natural friction and
Mm-hmm.
it's just friction,
Mm-hmm.
book it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I absolutely love all of this because such a, it's such a clear connect to what I do every day, what I talk to people about every day, what I personally am experiencing. Last night, I was making my final decisions as to what are we going to do in our day in port in St. Kitts and Nevis, right?
Mhm.
Now, just to reveal something about myself, I'm slow to decide. Once I
Okay.
see something is right, I I I will make the decision and I'm committed to it unless I need to veer off because it's not been a good decision. But I have analysis paralysis, and that's
But
just the
you
way
said 24 hours you made a decision.
right, right, right. But I have been thinking about it for a while,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Now, so I'm not going to give myself any credit not that I am not worthy of. But I know, but the thing is, I know that about myself. And so I know that I can stand in the grocery store in front of five different brands of peas, and it might take me a bit to decide what brand of
Okay.
peas. So that's just the way God made me. I'm slow to decide. But I also know if I can narrow my decisions by having AI sorting capabilities,
Yeah.
if I can use some of these tools out there, if I can use my Lucy, who's my chat GPT, to help me think through some decisioning, if I can use those digital tools, if I can um, acknowledge that it's even okay to decide not to do anything that day that's a shore excursion and requires a sticker or a wristband, that's a decision and that's an okay decision. So the the friction piece though, there are people who will not travel because travel is difficult these days, and that's their prerogative. But it breaks my heart because whatever we're doing, whether it's traveling or driving and whatever we're doing, is it because I'm older? I don't know. Is it because the world is different? I don't know. But things just feel harder. Even things that I've been doing for a long time can have more challenges, right? Um,
So let me just ask you right there. Let me just say, travel, what's harder? Travel or deciding to travel? Because
um,
sometimes you can spend one of the types of friction I found in myself, which was I was shocked because I kind of have myself as a live and let live. I'm not
right,
big
right.
on details, right? I did a TED talk in November,
I love it.
TEDx talk.
Yeah.
But when it came out, it wasn't perfect.
Mhm.
So I didn't share it.
I remember that.
So perfection can be a friction,
Absolutely. I
waiting for
don't
it to be just right.
I don't want to. It took me, we're going to Lake Tahoe in May with some friends, and I had the responsibility because now I'm the travel girl. It doesn't, but you would have always wanted to travel with me anyway. I'm going to have the pharmacy with me. I'm going to have the contingency plan built. I'm going to have all the emergency numbers. I'm the girl you want to travel with anyway. But one of my jobs on my list was book the rental car. Okay, well, do I want a mid-size? Do I want a full size? Do I want an SUV? I mean, so I do that to myself, but making the decision and kind of going back to what you said about perfectionism, at some point you have to decide, right? So saying about the people who don't want to deal with it, you have to decide at any age, but definitely at my age for myself, I have made the decision I'm not going to stay in my yard and wait to die. Okay. Some people my age are doing that. I have people all the time, Sandy. I've already revealed my age. I'm not afraid of that. I'm proud of it. I've got the battle scars and wrinkles and all that to show it.
Well, all I'm going to say is that skincare you were using must have been doing a good job because you look pretty
I,
good.
well, thank you. Thank you. That's the plan. That's the plan. But I hear all the time from my peers, just older and younger than me. Okay. And like when I started the travel, what are you doing? When are you going to retire? Well, I don't know. Probably never, right? Because how sad if I ever got to the point that I felt like I was done learning, boring. How sad if I ever got to the point to say, I have nothing of value to offer to others for free or for a price. Horrible. Why would I? How? I mean, I've never been in the situation, Sandy, where I've had all the money in the world and I never wanted more. I'm not a greedy person, but having income gives you choices. It allows me to take that cruise. It allows me to do something special for no reason for our grandkids. It allows me to give myself additional security as we move toward retirement. I don't have to touch my retirement plan because I'm bringing in money doing a variety of other residual income things and coaching but it's about the relevance. I mean, I look at again at our age, and this is not about an age thing and it's not really about a women thing. I wish everybody would think this, but I remember, I can't tell you what age I was, but I remember one time when I walked into a room and realized nobody noticed me. So this is pretty vulnerable right now, but I had to think about this when you told me the topic, where I felt like, have I reached an age where I'm becoming invisible? Have I reached an age where people don't view my opinions as important or relevant, or am I behind, am I blah blah blah, you know and I'm not the only woman who has felt this. And so I became really intentional as I watched some of my friends, kids are leaving the nest. Now I'm not a mom anymore, and some of them weren't wives anymore for a variety of reasons, and they're not in the corporate workplace anymore. And so people in my circle, it was as though they were losing their identity. And I was afraid of that. I'm not afraid of a lot, but I was afraid of that. And I very intentionally said, okay, at a time where others may be allowing themselves to shrink, I'm intentionally going to expand. I'm going to fill a room where even though I'm 5'2", they're going to not they're not going to be able to not notice me. Too many double negatives there. But I don't, I'm not, you know, cute anymore, and I'm not the new kid on the block anymore. I'm not any of that stuff anymore, but I'm a lot wiser. And I'm still loud, and but I'm just going to remain relevant however I can, because I feel like I have a responsibility to other people. God has put me on this earth for a reason, and with purpose, I need to intentionally continue to expand. Does that annoy others? Absolutely.
Does it?
There, oh, yes. I think it does. I've actually been told,
What?
quiet down, quiet down, be quiet. You've had your time. But a lot of it is, I think, people who don't understand the whole entrepreneurial world. They don't understand doing multiple things at a time. They don't understand that after the age of 65, you can still be working. They don't understand it. And if they're not willing to do it because they don't know how to do it, they don't have the courage to do it, they don't feel like doing it, then that means I'm doing something different and perhaps bigger than they are. And I feel like people tend to pull you down so that they don't feel smaller themselves. And I don't mean that in an ugly way. I promise I do not. I see people doing exactly the same that I'm actively avoiding doing.
Well, first of all, the whole notion that we should quiet down, fade into oblivion is a cultural curb.
Right. Right.
And
Yep.
if we can see it, you would go, oh, there's that curb.
Right.
And it's not me.
Right.
There's that curb and it's not me.
Right.
Or even self-doubt, you go, oh, there I go with decision wobbling.
Yeah.
Right? You can
Right.
go, oh, well, I would differ a little bit when you say God made me that way. Yes, God made you wonderful and you still wobble.
Right.
And
Totally. I'm an excellent wobbler.
it's just friction.
Mm-hmm.
You can return to your say in the presence of friction,
Mm-hmm.
but not if you don't see it.
Right.
If you don't see it, you're run by it.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
so those people who have that cultural curb affecting them, that we should slow down, that there should even be retirement. Who said?
Right. I know.
I mean, who said that? So I'm so excited for you because I'm going to give these cliff notes to you because I was thinking earlier, you're the travel expert. I'm the why they don't expert. Right?
Right.
Because
Right.
if it's easy and you save money and it's a platform where you can make decisions, then why you don't is what we want to look at.
Right.
Right. So somebody asked me, if you speak to a group of people and afterwards, what do you want the impact to be?
Mm.
I want women walking down the hall going, how did I not see that?
Right. Right.
How did I not know I was stopped by an external opinion?
Right.
How did I not see that I wasn't just wobbling and that's not the end of the world?
Mm-hmm.
So travel is the perfect, well, I say second perfect. I think the number one perfect friction revealer is for women to have their picture taken.
Oh, my stars.
Because then we go, oh my Lord.
I
mean, we just go on us
Right.
and in us, and
Right.
there's just friction everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see travel in a new way today. So I'm gonna just read a few things so you have it as a tool. And you
Okay.
can clip this thing up and you can give it to whoever you want.
Thank you.
I don't think women struggle with travel because they lack desire. I think they're navigating friction.
Quick question. Have you noticed how easy it is to drift through this season of life? Not unhappy, just slightly checked out. Yeah, that. At Think Pink, we don't fix women. We help them come alive again. Honest conversation. Easy occasions for discovery. No duct taping a smile over burnout. No reinvent your entire life by Tuesday. Just people who care and gentle nudges that help you feel like yourself again. I mean, the truth is, you can't be your best self by yourself. If that sentence made something in you nod, we made a free Think Pink starter gift just for you. Come take a look. No fixing, just connection. Go to pinkladyposse.com and click on Think Pink. Stay awake to your own life and not alone.
I don't think women struggle with travel because they lack desire. I think they're navigating friction, external barriers, internal doubt, and years of conditioning that make choosing themselves feel uncomfortable.
Mhm.
We have years of putting everyone else first.
Right.
That is an external friction.
Right.
And we have the power to say, I see that and I choose me.
Right. Right.
Right. So I love the whole notion that reclaiming your say is to give yourself the choice of making the decision you want to make.
Mhm.
Curbs or not, wobbles or not,
Mhm.
and grinders or not, because they show up. And so if you can detect them, or they can detect them for themselves, then they can actually return to what is called agency.
Right.
And you were in HR, right? So
Right.
how do you describe agency? Do you remember? It's a funky word when people aren't used to it, but I think it's sort of reclaiming your own sense of authority, or
Yeah. Yes. That's great. That's a great way to say it. It's like, it's not exactly respecting yourself, but it is like honoring yourself, giving
Mm,
yourself credibility, or I don't know. I wasn't prepared for that question, but that's like those are the first emotional descriptions that come to mind.
well, you can use my word, returning to your say so.
Yeah, I like it. I like that. Yeah, it is. And something you said just a second ago, specifically around the travel, is something I want to mention. And this was a benefit I was not expecting at all from this travel journey. I generally have traveled with my husband or with my family, for pleasure trips. But for years, I traveled in my corporate life by myself, often the only woman in the room, a woman traveling. And you have to, again, things are different now than they were back then
Right.
around women and the workplace period and the flexibility that you were allowed and all of that, i.e., there wasn't any. But I was never afraid of traveling by myself. Put me in an airport, you can never feel safer. The signage is great. I don't know where I'm going. I've never been here before, but I'm probably not going to get lost. And if I get lost, I know what to do. So I've got my contingency plan, remember?
Mhm.
But as far as traveling for pleasure, that's generally, I've taken a couple trips by myself, kind of little personal retreat sort of things, or to work on business action plans. But what I'm seeing that just makes me grin is on this travel platform, we have what we call life experiences. They're actually curated group trips. So you can either be part of the group and do all the hoopla stuff, or you can just take advantage of the group pricing
Mhm.
and do your own thing. So there's no like mandatory fun activities. But what I'm seeing is women traveling by themselves. They don't have a spouse anymore. They don't have a friend they want to go with. They've always wanted to go see the tulips, but they didn't want to do it by themselves.
Right, right, right.
They're going on trips that they never would have taken before.
That is
And
so
they're
beautiful.
coming back changed. Why are they changed? They've seen the thing that's always been on their bucket list. They've met new people, so their social life is enriched. They are proud of themselves because they had the courage to do something that they never thought they would be able to do.
That's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal when you are planning a trip with help or without help to make the decision. And then you get on the plane, you've gotten through using your TSA. You have made the plans, you've got the paperwork, you haven't forgotten anything, you've made it through TSA, you get on that plane, and what do?
I know, right?
Finally, now I can start my vacation because I'd done all the work ahead of time. And my sweet husband, who would tell you this about himself, his job is to carry the bags and drive a rental car if I've rented one. And that's about it. He may not remember what port we're in the next day
Right.
because he just goes along for the ride because he's been married to me almost 46 years. He knows I'm going to do all that stuff. But back to the finally doing something for myself is a gift I can give to myself. But having the ability to do something like travel by myself. I went to Dallas a few weeks ago with a group of people, met people from all over the world. I've got friends from Russia now, friends from Canada. We're keeping up on, on social media. We're keeping up, not in person now, but I have new friends for life, people I would not have met had I not gone on that trip. Now, Dallas isn't exotic, right? I was there for business, but I went on one of our life experiences and was able to get 4 nights plus a welcome reception for the price of 3 nights, even with my World of Hyatt benefits.
Now, let me ask you, were you not on the stage at that event?
I was on the stage.
I saw you.
I know, that was actually a picture that was the same outfit, but that particular picture, and those who know me well know now, and I've had my cataract surgery, I don't have to wear glasses all the time. That picture was from an event of last year where I was on the stage. I was teaching a T-chart tool to my peers. It was kind of a train the trainer sort of deal. You would love this story. That was a situation where I had a 30-minute slot. I had my notes. I was ready to go, beautifully prepared, as I will always be, always open to whatever the Lord puts in there, though, because it always is better than I had planned anyway, which is exactly what's happening on this meet as well. But I got up on the stage under the worst stage lights. You've been on stage many times.
Yeah.
Sometimes those lights are bad and you can't even see the front row. Sometimes those lights that they are blinding. In that moment, within the first 5 minutes, remember, I've got a whiteboard. I'm going to be doing a lot of visual. Within the first 5 minutes of that 30-minute slot, Sandy, I could feel an ocular migraine coming on.
Oh my gosh, I had those.
I'd only had it twice before. I knew the symptoms. And those of you who don't know, I don't experience pain, thank God, but you're losing your peripheral vision and you don't have depth perception and you feel dizzy, like a vertigo.
Oh my gosh.
And in that moment, that was one of those, core memories I'll always have. In that moment, I had to decide, okay, you have dressed up. You have prepared for this. You have people waiting to learn from you. Lord, you're either going to have to push me through this or I'm going to have to get off the stage. And I pushed through it. No idea what that whiteboard looked like because I couldn't really see what I was writing.
Boy, I hate that feeling.
But I did it. And I got down off the stage and they were clapping and it was great. And 45 minutes later, I could kind of see again. But it was one of those moments where you push through the fear. You have to just grab onto courage and the fact that you're prepared. And you feel like I'm there to serve other people. This isn't about me. I'm there to serve other people. And the show's got to go on. So that's what that picture was from. And I pulled that out because I was having one of those days where I knew I was doing all the things and it just wasn't coming together like I wanted it to. And that picture was a reminder to myself.
Yeah.
That you can keep doing it and it'll come back together.
But what you said is a golden nugget. Courage isn't the absence of friction or fear.
Right.
Right? It's the decision to move with it instead of obeying it. Mm-hmm. And that is a choice. When you do that, you return to your say.
Exactly. And it is, people who say, well, I'm not getting any traction or I don't see results or I'm not, well, you have to do the thing, which is often scary, in order to get, the results are going to come on the other side of that. The good stuff always comes on the other side of fear, right? Mm-hmm. Now that physical thing it was horrible.
Nobody wants that. That's true.
It was horrible. It's a dramatic example. But in the day that I posted that picture, and thank you, I'm glad you got to see that. That was a gift to myself, to a reminder that you're going to fail forward. You're going to learn when you're feeling like I wouldn't have called it friction. Now I know to call it friction. I was experiencing difficulty, but I had to keep going because I knew I could do it. I just needed to get to the other side of whatever that friction was, which I'll be using now from now on. So travel is the same way. You're going to have friction. You can either make the decision to be prepared for that, and know that it's part of it. It's part of the travel experience. When you think about travel and memories and you sit around the table and you're talking to people about trips you've taken, I bet you money that a lot of your stories are about the things that at the time were like, ugh. Like I was on the Triumph cruise, the Carnival Triumph cruise in 2013 that caught on fire, the poop cruise. And my family was on there, and it was really one of the worst inhumane situations I've ever been on. I don't know, Netflix did a documentary on it. They didn't do a great job, but anyway, but it makes for great stories. I could write a book at this point, right? Or the time I'm on some Caribbean island and this woman put a monkey on my shoulder and I freaked out. It was terrible, and it was the height of friction.
I had an experience like that. I went on a cruise and it was I think it's snorkeling where you get in the water.
Mhm.
And I was surrounded by a school of fish and I had a panic attack. I'm
Mhm.
like a claustrophobia, like, "Ah!" But the thing of it is, Steve and I are both widows from before.
Right.
And when I asked him, what is his biggest regret with Karen? He said, we waited to retirement to do the things we wanted to do. And so now we're married to each other, not waiting.
No, no, wait, don't wait.
I
Don't
mean,
wait.
but it's a decision you make that
Right.
you're going to live fully now and not and I love that you said now that I see it's friction, when you put a name on it, it doesn't have a hold on you.
Right.
I can see my tendency to, and it's either external, internal, or a grinder. And then in my TED talk, the thing I love the most was this saying that I tripped over. I don't even know how I wrote it, but I love it. And it said, I feel like I went backstage in a life I used to star in. That is so painful when you go, and that's a grinder. It's like over time, I've become backstage and I used to be a star in my own life. I mean, that's what it feels like when you said, I'm so proud of myself. And those women who take those trips are so proud of themselves. That is worth everything.
And what you just said though about you guys not waiting, Bill and I have never had a ton of money. We don't drive the newest cars. We don't, we've taken care of our kids. We have taken care of our marriage and ourselves individually by spending money on not things as much as
Experiences.
experiences, opportunities to make memories, etc. And so people say, "Oh my gosh, how many been so many cruises and how you blah 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 blah." Well, I mean, there was a time we didn't do it. Bill was a stage 4 cancer survivor. We weren't traveling then. We were, but talk about a wake up call. Whereas all those years, where even if it was one night at a hotel down the street, just as to pep up your romance or whatever, we did the things, and that's what we spent our money on. And now we can sit
That
and
is so beautiful.
talk about memories. Remember when we did, I can't remember what island that was on, but remember that again, the monkey was a traumatic, I'm not a big monkey fan, but it was a traumatic experience for me. But we have those kind of things that we're talking about. I can't tell you what he gave me for my birthday when I was 45, but I can tell you that for my 40th birthday, we were on a cruise ship. And those are the things that are important. But here's the other thing I've really realized about travel is you have to save for it. I mean, you can't generally do it for free. There are some things you can do on a budget and, put together your own walking tour and things that don't cost a lot of money. Always look for a good price, get the best for the least amount of money. And I'm just wickedly good at that, even before this travel platform, which makes me even better equipped. But it's like, do the things you can to save up to have that travel experience. I can't believe it's already next week we're going to go. I've been planning for this, but it's not just planning doing the work. It's planning and salivating and having that. I have a bad day. It's like, that's okay. I've only got 3 more weeks till I'm going to go on vacation, or it gives you something to look forward to get out of the mundane of your day to day. And my husband's retired. I'm not retired yet. We're both busy, but there's a semblance of Groundhog Day when you're not in a normal Monday through Friday thing. So you got to have something that you're going to look forward to, something that you are excited about, something you can talk about together. But this is the other thing about travel that I don't want people to miss, and I think they do. When you're getting out of the mundane and doing something out of the ordinary, experiencing new things, expanding your horizons, meeting new people, seeing new things, it's glorious and it's enriching and it's wonderful. And then you got to go home. And people are like, oh, I got to go home. I got all the laundry. I've got to get back to work. I'm going to ask people to flip that script and say, I just was enriched. I had this fabulous experience. And when I get home and I'm in my own bed, and when I can eat a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup instead of escargot and bouillabaisse and all these fancy things, there is a blessing to come home when you've built the kind of life that you can have different and new experiences, but when you also have the life that's comfortable to go home to. But if you don't go away and do something new, you're not going to have the perspective to come back and also value the day to day. It's mundane before you go, but when you get back to it, there's a blessing in comfort as well.
But you know what? So I've heard it said that you're about as happy right now as the life you're looking forward to.
Say that again. You're about as happy right now as the life you're
looking forward to. So I'm going to Greece in the fall. And right now I'm making my Canva pictures of, Mykonos because I'm going to go there. And you go, so what you're looking forward to does have a tremendous impact on your well-being. And I love what you said about when you get home, it's who you get to be.
Right.
Like you've been who you wanted to be. And that's like the juiciest thing of all is that if you get to be the human you want to be.
Right.
And so that's where this whole thing started. So I am so happy you could be. I'm going to give you my Cliff Notes and I have a friction profile. You can go to, I'll give you the URL, frictionprofile.com, I think, and take your friction profile to learn which one of the friction types you're likely to be tripped up the most consistently.
Okay, good.
And even if it's all three, you go up, I spot that friction. I don't have to be run by it. I can return to my say.
Right.
I can choose courage. I can choose courage in the face of fear. I can choose courage in the face of responsibility. I can choose being myself. So I'm so happy that the world gets to find out about you and travel and the yumminess of life like this and people like this, and just today's the day to live.
It is. It is. And it is a gift because we don't know if we're going to have it tomorrow. And so to your point of don't wait, and maybe you're not traveling to Greece. Maybe you're traveling to Fredericksburg. Maybe you're traveling to
Alabama, for goodness sake.
I know, the hotel down the street, just to get yourself out of the normal to see what you look like with a new experience. And I'm excited to take your friction quiz. But I guess the thing that I would say about that, whatever my results are, is I am better served when I expect that there's going to be, I used to call them speed bumps. Don't be surprised Be surprised. In fact, I get nervous. If things are too comfortable, I generally create discomfort because I know that I'm not supposed to be comfortable. I'm supposed to be stretched. I'm supposed to be growing, because if I'm too comfortable, I've stopped growing. I used to tell my team, when I had a big team of people in corporate America, now I have not as, I mean, I don't have like, 2,400 whatever people, but if you're starting to get too comfortable, if I see you getting too comfortable, I'm going to push you. If I see myself getting too comfortable, I'm going to push myself, and if I'm lucky, you'll come along for the ride with me. But the worst thing that could happen is to stop growing, stop being excited when you see a distraction. That is, yes, it's a distraction. Yes, it could be hard at the time, but if you really embrace it and not be surprised, then what's going to be on the other side is so much better, because you've survived it. You've survived it with courage, maybe not always grace, but you've gotten something out of it to where you're a better and bigger person, and you're going to be even more relevant to other people and more beneficial to other people. Whether it's sitting at home in front of a laptop influencing people, or whether it's out in the world talking about your life, but more importantly, asking them about their life so that you can learn from them as well.
Miss Julie.
Miss Sandy.
Thank you for being with me. It's so yummy to learn from you. And I'm glad to know you're doing well. It's so good to see you. So I'm going to say, go to pinkladyposse.com, click on podcasts. You'll see Julie coming up, and we will see you there.
Have a wonderful time on your birthday trip with your daughter.
Thank you.
Fly safely. Allow plenty of time in TSA. And that's my travel tip for today.
Thanks for tuning in to Pink Lady Posse Podcast, where women go from what now to what's next. Come join us at pinkladyposse.com, where we share community, resources, and tools to support your next beautiful chapter. With love, light, and a little lipstick. See you next time.